Happy Friday, boys and girls. We did it. Yay, you guys have been rocking it this month of May. I've been so impressed with you guys, so keep it up. We have one more day to go, and I want to show you guys today the parent letter that we've been working off of. Check this out. We finished day 1, day 2, day 3, and we are on day 4 today. This really helps your brain see how much we're doing, and it helps you stay on track so that if you are sick one day or if just something goes on with like your family and you can't get a day done, you can always go back and get the day done. And plus you have videos to watch any of these lessons. So if you ever just need some extra time, and remember, if you notice, there's nothing on Monday. So if you also miss a day, you can always catch up on that Monday of every single week. There's never a Monday except this Monday of June 1st. So you have all these Mondays to get caught up on any work you might miss. So let's go ahead and let's take a peek at our reading for today, because we are on section 1. We're still on section 1, but we're finishing this last part of the story about the adventures of the growing nation. So something that I want you to remember from yesterday's lesson is that we read this story about Lewis and Clark and how they went about and sequencing of the order of events that took place for these gentlemen. And for this short response, you have to include important events that happened in their journey, but you have to include details from paragraph 3, paragraphs 4, and paragraph 5. And I love this hint here. It even says, use the details from your organizer for help. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to paragraphs 3, 4, and 5 and see if it lines up with our graphic organizer. So check this out. Paragraph 3, paragraph 4, and paragraph 5. And look, all of these dates are in those paragraphs. So you are going to write what are the important things that happened in that order. So let's use the graphic organizer, because it looks like it talked about winter, talked about May of 04, November of 05, and September of 06. So we're going to talk about all of these in our response today. So what are the important events in the journey of Lewis and Clark? Include details from paragraphs 3, 4, and 5 in your answer. So let's start right here. One of the important events is that Lewis and Clark built a base camp, and that's important because the base camp is also where they started. So let's go ahead, let's get that date down. So I'm going to start. One important event was in the winter of, I gotta look at the date because I forgot, and that's fine, 1803. Lewis and Clark built, I guess they built and started their journey at the base camp in St. Louis, Missouri. That is so important. That's how the whole thing started. They spent their winter there. Now, what happened next? Next, look how I'm using my sequence word. Next, in May 1804, what happened? Use your graphic organizer. Next, in May 1804, Lewis and Clark began their famous adventure. They had 50 men with them. Look at that. I'm already got my 2 good sentences. Okay, you need to keep on writing. This is a paragraph, a 5-sentence paragraph. So you have another sentence here, November, and then one more sentence. What happened in November and what happened in September. So you need to rewrite that so that it always shows the whole response there. Awesome. So that is all you have for reading today. So you need to finish this response. If you're stuck, go back and look at these paragraphs right here. It will help remind your brain what you might be missing. Okay, now for writing today, we are actually going to be working on the part 2. So yesterday you talked about your favorite places that you think your neighbors should visit, your imaginary neighbors. Part 2, we're going to be reviewing how we punctuate addresses. So I hope you guys all received the postcards I sent you, and when I did your postcard, I had to write your address. I had to use a comma in the correct places. So this is a life skill that you're going to need to know for the rest of your life. And I want to kind of talk about where does that comma go. So there's two kinds of things that we need to review. If you're writing an address on a letter or like an envelope or a postcard like I did, it's going to look a little bit different than if you wrote it in a sentence, which is how this is written. The store is at 300 Craig Street, comma, Durham, comma, North Carolina. So I have a quick little video that I want to show you, and there's no talking in it, but it just helps you review some places where those commas go. Okay, so how this starts is when you address an envelope, use a comma between the city and the state, and they're going to show you. So look what this says. Mr. John Doe, 4 Hall Street, Seattle, comma, Washington. You see that? Now, if you notice, you never ever put a comma between the state and zip code. So there is no comma here. There's a space, and you just put the zip code, just like that. So that's how you would do an envelope or a postcard. Now, when you write an address in a sentence, though, you separate each item of the address with a comma. So, for example, please send the electric bill to 4 Hall Street, comma, Seattle, that's the city, comma, Washington, 80915, no comma. Again, you never put a comma between the state and the zip code. You only put the commas when you write in a sentence after like the street, and then after the city, and then it goes the state and then the zip code. So now, that's all I wanted to show you with that quick little segment. As an example, let's look at this guided practice. So it says rewrite each address and add the commas where they're needed. So we're going to do exactly what it told us to do here. So 18 West Lane, comma, because it's like a street or a lane or an avenue. 18 West Lane, comma, Orlando, comma, Florida. That's exactly right. Add commas where they are needed and finish the last sentence by writing your own address. Okay, that's how we'd write that address. Let's try this one. 2 Griggs Avenue, comma, Albany, comma, New York. Because this like the avenue is like a street or like where they live, and then Albany is the city, and then your state. Okay, let's try this one. 531 Front Street, comma, Monroe, comma, Wisconsin. All right. 1538 Oakwood Drive, comma, Canton, comma, Ohio. And I love this hint here. And I already said this, but just to remind you, the name of the street can also be called a road, a drive, a lane, an avenue. You always put a comma after those words. So like, I live on a street. William McKinley is 1733 Span Avenue. So it's always important that you know you have to use a comma after that. 49 Jeffrey Road, comma, Athens, comma, Georgia. Now, I don't have a period here because it's not a sentence. I'm just rewriting the address correct. Now, this is fun. You're going to put your address in here. So write your address down the best way you know how. Try to do it with your comma, with your city, and with your state. And don't forget your zip code. Most of you are 46203, but several of you might not live right in this Indy area. So your zip code might be a little bit different. So check with your parents. See if you can do it by yourself and see if you got it right, okay? And then the last part you have to do on your own is you have to do numbers 1 through 3. And this is multiple choice. You have to pick the one that's written correctly. Now, boys and girls, one of the best things I like to do is slash the trash. Remember, if there's one that's crazy, get rid of it so you don't accidentally pick it when it's missing something clearly. Like, for example, when I see, I'm looking at one that could be trash right away. So I have 945 Peters Street, Fresno. First of all, this is trash. They put the comma before street. The comma can't go before street. So I want you guys to do that part on your own. So this is your writings today. That's all you guys have, just those 3. And then we'll do our next journal on Tuesday. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, boys and girls. I miss you all. Bye.